Yeah.
If you say, oh, let's go to brunch, and you pick IHOP, I'm sorry, I'm not going. I'm the person that spends hours and days researching where to eat.
5-star only.
Yeah, food.
On Yelp.
Food. Hey guys, welcome back to Frankie's Voice. We have a special guest. You've seen him in a lot of videos already, but now he is formally being introduced as Caleb, the godfather of personal finance. Today's video is going to be a series of questions that I'm going to ask Caleb, and I will also opine on his opinion about personal finances and how they affect relationships, and we'll cover all the important topics that you need to know so that you know your partner's financial position in your relationship. Ready to get started?
Let's get this show on the road.
Question number 1. When should couples start talking about finances?
I think it's tricky because it's like such a personal topic. So it feels like for the first couple of dates, you shouldn't necessarily be talking, but you should be scoping out almost the like behaviors of the other person. So like when you're on the date, do they offer to pay? And like when you're talking to them, do they mention anything about like, oh, we should go here, it's like budget friendly, or let's try to find a free event, because then it'll kind of give you an idea of where they are without you having to say like, what are your philosophies on personal finance?
Yeah. What about when you're already in a relationship? When should you start talking about finances? Like, I think you might be able to get a sense of how someone spends their money, but you don't get the true picture in dates. So if someone's in a relationship, let's say they're 6 months or 1 year in, when should they learn about their partner's finances?
Yeah, I feel like it's hard because for me, I'm like more of a stickler for her.
Yes.
So I feel like
somebody started talking about finances before we were boyfriend and girlfriend.
and before she had a actual job.
Yeah. We're talking about retirement, a mortgage. I was 20 years old and shook.
Yeah, we got through it though.
Yeah. We got through
I feel like you can start talking about it once you have that level of trust with that person, because like at the end of the day, if you're going to be in a relationship with them, you should have like a level of trust like that you want to have going forward to like say, okay, this is going to be like who I'm going to be in a relationship with. And so at that point you should be like okay to say, okay, well, like, you know, I know we're getting really close, I trust you very much. One thing that we haven't talked about yet is some of the personal finances and where we stand with some of those topics, and maybe start at like a higher level.
Yeah.
And then like gradually get more into deeper topics.
Yeah, because you definitely don't want to be getting married and that's when you're finding out that your partner has a ton of debt, they like don't have any savings. You don't want it to be a shock at some point in your relationship about this person. Question number 2. Should you know how much your significant other is contributing to retirement account, savings account, etc.? This is in the realm of boyfriend and girlfriend, not married yet.
Yeah, I feel like it comes, like eventually you should get to the point where even though you're not married, if you have the inclination that you're gonna be married, then eventually your personal goals and your spouse's personal goals start to become like our goals as well. And so I think retirement is like one of those where yes, you have your individual retirement accounts, but you both are working towards a retirement age that's going to happen together. And so I think it's important to be on the same page of what that is. It doesn't mean that you have to like pick it for them, but at least know where they are.
You should also have a sense of where you guys are financially and where you plan on being financially in the future. and make those decisions together, because finances are huge.
Yeah. And they cause like a lot of arguments and fights, so it's better to like talk about what you would do in certain scenarios before like that scenario happens, so you're a little bit more prepared for it.
And then when we're married, that's when we make those investment decisions together rather than making them separately.
Yeah, because you want to have like a portfolio. When you're thinking about like a portfolio of your accounts, once you're married, they're together, so it's like you want to balance like asset classes.
Once you already know the other's investment style when you're a boyfriend or girlfriend, like you'll be able to make those decisions easier when you're married, because you know maybe one person's more conservative, the other person's more, you know, they can take more risk. So once you know what each other's investment styles are, you can kind of work towards a medium easier than like learning that for the first time when you're married.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
There you go.
Should you have a joint bank account with a boyfriend or girlfriend? And what about husband or wife?
Well, this is one that we talked about so much.
First, as boyfriend or girlfriend.
Boyfriend or girlfriend, I think we both were like, it was easy because we were both like, no, because we're not married yet. So although we talk about our financial decisions or like our plan together, it doesn't mean that we're like accessing each other's yet. But once we're married, then yes, because at least in our opinion, once you become married, you no longer have like my checking account and your checking account. You have like your family total income, and then you decide where that budget goes on as a family, not one person. But what we decided on was we'll each have like an allowance fund.
Because I have different tastes in things.
Yeah.
Caleb is a little bit more conservative with money. An allowance, a separate checking accounts for both of us to be treated like an allowance after all bills and investments are made was something that we decided we would do when we were married. And plus I still wanted to feel a little bit independent.
Yeah,
I didn't want to feel like I have to like go and talk to my husband about things. We would come to a common ground about how we're paying bills, how much we're putting away for savings and investments. But beyond that, any extra money would be up to each of our discretion on how we spend it. Question number 4. What splurge would you never give up?
Yeah, I have 2 really important ones for me. The first one is like tech. Like I always want to have like new tech tools, new phone. As being someone.
New phone, boy. In 2016, no, keep going.
Restart. New phone coming in soon, man. New phone coming in soon.
Yeah, you have had the same phone since 2017.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get a new one. So phone and tech, etc. And then secondly, traveling, cause like I think not even necessarily far like distances, but just doing different experiences, I think is always worth having to like set aside some money if you can.
Seeing new things.
Yeah, new
experiencing different things.
Yeah.
I agree. I have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a lot. It's skincare, perfumes, food. I will never ever step foot in a chain restaurant. Stuff like TGI Fridays, Chili's, all of that stuff. I only eat at Five Guys. That's the only thing.
Shake Shack.
And Shake Shack.
Yeah, burgers. Don't go to the burger spots.
Burger places. McDonald's I don't mind at the airport, but if you say, oh, let's go to brunch, and you pick IHOP, I'm sorry, I'm not going. I'm the person that spends hours and days researching where to eat.
5-star only.
Yeah, food.
On Yelp.
Food. I just can't eat that stuff. Question number 5. How would you feel if you found out that I had $25,000 in debt that I never told you about?
I'll probably be a little offended. I'll be like, why didn't you, like bring this up earlier? But the good thing is like, no matter what the money situation is, it can always get better.
So you'd help pay for it?
I wouldn't necessarily help pay for it since it's yours, but I would say like, if anything I'm doing is encouraging you to spend more money that you could be like using to pay off the loan, then I would be happy to say like, let's travel less next year and we'll focus on the loan. and I'll find something else that we could do, like find free events or make more food at home, whatever it is, to like get that situation handled, and then we can go back to what we would like rather have, you know?
Yeah, you should definitely tell your partner if you have any outstanding debts.
Yeah.
I feel like
that'd be scary.
Just say it and like let people be mad, but at least you both know. Next question. What scares you about money?
I feel like it's not necessarily like not having a lot of money, like that wouldn't scare me. I think like once you have enough money for like basic food, water, housing, etc., like that's good enough for me. So my fear would be to ever get to a point where like I didn't have that and not knowing like what to do to get back to it, especially like once you have a family. It's a really scary position to be in as a parent, because like one of your sole responsibilities is to provide for like the children you have.
Yeah.
And if all of a sudden you're struggling to do that, it just would be a really, really scary situation.
That's fair. That is scary. Like the possibility of running out of money and not being able to support.
Yeah.
Last question. How do you know when you and your partner are financially incompatible? And is there such a thing as being financially incompatible?
You can be incompatible. That doesn't necessarily mean break up. It just might be something that you decided, like, I'm going to accept this. Like, we're just different. But when the incompatibility is bad is if, like, you believe in, like, financial stability and saving, and then the other person believes the opposite.
Yeah.
It can cause, like, a lot of arguments because you're trying to save, they're trying to buy something new. And there's like a lot of arguments based on that. So I could see if you have like opposites and extremes of like views, then that would be hard on a relationship. But also like I've read many financial bloggers where they like one's a spender, one's a saver, and in ways that helps them like balance each other. Because the saver maybe never had many experiences. Like that even happened for us. Because like I didn't want to.
We introduced Caleb to life. Fine dining. All he knew was Chipotle before. We took him out to some nice restaurants, some Michelin star restaurants, and now it's turned.
Yeah, so I feel like it can help to have someone like push you a little bit out of your comfort zone. But then at the other end of the spectrum is someone that is always like living that life, and you have someone now that's kind of saying, hey, let's take a step back and like maybe we can enjoy that life but find a way to balance it. So we're doing a little bit of both. Like it's like you're incompatible in a way, but you're still making it work.
Yeah, for the spender, you can be a responsible spender. You don't.
Yeah, that's true.
Like your life doesn't have to be that you're this compulsive buyer. And like you can't take a step back and wait for a few days before you buy something. You can be a responsible spender, and a saver can also enjoy life a little bit at times.
Yeah,
but
I think it's just balance. That's what it really. Like life is definitely worth living.
I do think people could be incompatible financially if like either person isn't willing to change for some reason. So in a situation where there's a spender and a saver, and the spender just blows through too much money, the spender has to go through this change of philosophy where they decide that they're not going to spend as much because it's harmful for the relationship and for the family unit. But if they don't do that, then you're really incompatible because one person doesn't have the willpower to just stop and be responsible. I think it just boils down to like willpower and what you decide is a priority. But I think people can definitely change and morph themselves to be more compatible with their partners financially.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even situations where there's like people that are both spenders and they're both kind of creating their own destruction in the family. You don't want to do that. But moral of the story is you guys just get a sense of who you're dating, get a sense of what their finances are like and what their attitudes are towards money and
fights.
Yeah. Well, hope you guys liked this video. give us a like, a subscribe, comment below if you have any questions and any comments on anything that we said today. And we will see you next week with another video. Bye.